beautiful souls, it's Kerry with the New Moon Forecast. If you'd like to learn how to use the new moon energies to enrich your life, to bring in things that you want, to make changes, then stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you how this new moon, which takes place on the 21st of October at 9:55 p.m, that's Adelaide time, you'll need to adjust your time for wherever you are in the world, how you can utilize the energy of this new moon to start planting the seeds of what you want moving forward. New moons are always about planting seeds of what you want. Now, being in Libra, it means that this is about relationships. It's about how we relate to others. And the Sabian symbol associated with this degree, mankind's vast enduring effort for knowledge transferable from one generation to the next. So this is really about intergenerational communication. People often say things like, oh, there's a generational gap, people don't understand each other. But really, our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors, they're all within us in our DNA. We carry the knowledge. They carry the knowledge. Some people say the whole universe is within each one of us, almost like a hologram. But it doesn't mean that that knowledge can't be lost. And we are at a critical time now in humanity's existence, where we are at risk of losing a lot of knowledge. On the one hand, we've got AI just coming in and harvesting all of the knowledge, and then creating platforms for profit, as usual, in order to find a new way of getting money out of people, to basically buy back the knowledge that humanity laboured to achieve, to acquire, to understand. It's a collective resource, just like water or air, but some people put in the effort to learn that stuff. And we might say, well, education and knowledge ought to be available to everyone. And that is absolutely true. But we also must understand that it comes at a cost. That people, say for example, somebody who's spent their life refining their skills to be a writer, is suddenly competing with people who can just put a little cue into AI and say, oh, write me something fabulous for X, Y, and Z. All right, so people are appearing to be competent in ways that they haven't earned the level of competency that they're getting from an artificial intelligence, which really only exists because of the work of those who've come before. And so we have to be really careful about that, not to lose our humanity. It's all right for everything to be accessible to everyone. We might say something like air or water or natural resources of the land. Naturally, they are things that we can access free of charge, especially air and water generally. But this grab to take hold of knowledge, as if the powers that be have some right to that, in the way that they've grabbed power over land in the past. So you have to remember, you're a connected soul, you are an embodied soul, that you have a connection to the divine, that you're here having a human experience, and that you're sending back energetically, you're sending back a recording of the existence that you're having through your life and through the very fact of your existence. And so nothing is hidden, nothing can be hidden. Everything goes into the Akashic record as if it is a recording or a testimony for what has been. So we can pretend all we like, we can put on an image, we can make believe, we can be dishonest in private and honest in public, but it's all there, and that recording is the testament and the account of our life. So this Sabian symbol, thank you to Linda Hill for the Sabian symbol book, and the mankind's vast enduring effort for knowledge transferable from generation to generation. So this is like about genetic memory, and it's about the biological memory that we hold in our genes and pass on to the next generation. And we have to remember that the current generation of grandparents, so or parents even in my case, so my father is 87. So he's part of a generation that still had connection, strong connection to the land, to the animals, seeing the seasons, how they interacted with the food supply, etc. Now we've got generations of people who wouldn't know that a carrot came out of the ground. They would just have the idea that food comes from the supermarket. And so we hear all these kind of rally calls about climate change, about caring for the environment, and yet at the same time we live in this very artificial way where children aren't raised to think about their connection to the environment. The powers that be are more interested in filling their brains with ideas that they really don't, that are nonsense, things that they don't really need to be knowing about, rather than taking them out into the natural environment and go, look, here's the sun coming up, here's the moon, this is the interaction between the elements, here's the rain, this is how this works. Let's start a veggie garden. Let's see the life cycles, that sort of thing, that visceral experience of life, as opposed to a life learnt through books, which is about the book and the head. All right, so there's different forms of knowledge. And what I'm going to say is talk to the old people in your family. Talk to the older people in your life. Just say to them, tell me about how things were when you were young. How did you experience things? Share your knowledge with me, because once they have passed on, that knowledge is gone. And I know, even speaking to my own father, he comes alive when I ask him to talk to me about what he thinks about certain things, what his experiences were, what it was like when he went to school. And he's happy to share and pass on. So there's that thing where it's open communication, but then there's also the silent communication that goes on. And by that I mean the things that are unsaid, the mood in the home when you're growing up, the fact that you know not to make too much noise because it might trigger dad, or that if something doesn't go mum's way, she's going to lose it and start behaving in a certain way. And children are the ones who get the full picture of the shadow, the unconscious, what goes on in the home. In the school, people need to be professional, but quite often, once the parents are out of sight and that teacher's in there with the classroom, you'll see their shadow too. You'll see the interaction that goes on in private as opposed to in public. And so we learn in all kinds of ways. And so this for new moon, it's an opportunity to have some more healing, to bring about healing. We've got this intense opposition here between the full moon and the asteroid Chiron. And Chiron represents the wounded healer. So the sense of I am, our I am, that's Aries. Chiron is in Aries, so it's been in there for the very longest time, and it's really the universe's way of giving us all optimum opportunities to heal at deep levels. Now, we're talking here about intergenerational healing, because people these days can set up standards for their parents and grandparents and their great-grandparents that those people had no opportunity to meet. Some of those people were just lucky to get through the day and not die. And so this idea of, oh, I've got this, I'm that, and people have too much food, too much time on their hands to sit around wallowing in their very comfortable existence that they're enjoying because of what the people who came beforehand did. So sure, you might not have had a perfect life, darling, but nobody does. So give thanks, talk to the old people, tell them you're grateful for all of their sacrifices, for getting us here today, because they are the people who have done that. So, had my little rant. So that's mankind's enduring effort for knowledge transferable from generation to generation. Just remember, what you get sprouts out to you through your television or your screen is not necessarily all there is. So just to finish off about this powerful opposition here, the new moon here at the 29th degree of Libra. Libra is about relating. It's about our connection to others. It's also in a square aspect to Jupiter here and Pluto, all right? Now, when you have this, it's called a T-square. I think that might actually be a grand cross, in fact. So you've got a very volatile energy. Jupiter and Pluto can be about power struggles. So don't be surprised if you see some more power struggles going on in the global stage as well. I'm going to finish now. And I hope you enjoyed that. and follow for more. Take care, lovelies.